Good morning and happy Saturday, everyone. Today is Saturday. It's actually the last Saturday in the month of November. I actually just realized yesterday was the last Friday in November. Now it's last Saturday in November. My God, this month flew by. Like, everybody was posting to me, we're already at Thanksgiving and it feels like November just started like 2 days ago. But believe it or not, we're here. So a bit of a low and high act of kindness. I would say that my low is, well, I guess my low and my high are kind of interconnected because, after the Friday after Thanksgiving is when my mom wants to make Thanksgiving, with the turkey and her stuffing and, everything else. But she didn't do that last night. I mean, keep in mind, it was only 5 people, including myself. It was my mom, my dad, my grandma, and grandpa. And, again, normally we'd have like turkey dinner, but she didn't want to do that. But she wanted to still make something. So, my low is the fact that we didn't have a turkey dinner, but my high is, I got a great dinner anyway. I got to be with my mom, my dad, my grandparents. I had a lot of fun, talking. My mom made a lot of really great food. She made French onion dip and taco dip for appetizers. And she made this. Here's the thing. I know I said I was gonna get a turkey dinner, and technically, here's the thing. Yesterday does technically count as a turkey dinner if I actually ate turkey for my dinner in some way, shape, or form. In this case, my mom made a chicken, turkey, and gnocchi soup. So, chicken, turkey, gnocchi soup. It was, my mom was a little worried that it was kind of bland, and I do see where she's coming from, but dude, just add salt to your bowl. It's not hard to do. Like, add a little salt and pepper to your soup, you're fine. You'll live to be 100. But for sure, the star, hands down, was my mom's mac and cheese. Before I get to talking about the mac and cheese, I should probably say my act of kindness was my mom was busy getting everything ready, so I helped her, make dinner. I helped make the layered taco dip, and I also. It's a hot taco dip, so I had to put that in the oven. I also put the mac and cheese in the oven as well. Speaking of mac and cheese, here's the thing. I know a lot of people have mac and cheese for their sides on Thanksgiving. We don't usually do that at my house or in my family. We already have enough food as it is. You got turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and gravy and butternut squash. We have appetizers sometimes, like chips and dip. Sometimes there's shrimp and cocktail sauce. We got a lot of food. I don't think we need to exacerbate it anymore by, having mac and cheese as well. I do see, in some way, I actually see a need for why people have mac and cheese at the dinner table for Thanksgiving, simply because you got all that food, but not one bit of cheese in any of those things. So I do see a need for it. And don't get me wrong, I love mac and cheese as much as, I love mac and cheese as much as the next person. Like, my mom's mac and cheese, it's like top 3 things she's ever made. I'm not kidding. So, yeah, of course, in a perfect world, I wouldn't mind. I could take or leave mac and cheese, but sure, I'd have mac and cheese for Thanksgiving if it was made. But also, again, I just said that, my mom's mac and cheese is like top 3 things she makes. If we had that at Thanksgiving, it'd be completely overshadowed by the best thing that my mom makes, which is her turkey and her stuffing. So, I guess in a way, Like, mac and cheese should have its own show, if that makes sense. I mean, if you've ever seen the movie The Hate You Give, some people would find what I just said rather not offensive, but actually not inappropriate either. Just sort of like concerned over a matter of preference. I think that's how it would be described as. So, yeah. And a little bit of a twist for the dessert. We got not a pumpkin roll, not a pumpkin cake roll, but a carrot cake roll with a lot of whipped cream with my piece. And, I gotta say, growing up, I hated carrot cake. But not for the reason you might be thinking. It's just that, like, growing up, every time anyone ever had a carrot cake for their birthday, whoever they got the carrot cake from, or wherever they got the carrot cake from, like, the side of the cake would always be decorated with, like, a whole lot of nuts. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I hate nuts, but it was getting in the way of the frosting, which is the best part of any cake, no matter, I don't care what anyone says. So, so I got some bad memories of, like, trying to pick away nuts, and I'm losing some of the frosting as well because of that. I don't want to lose any of the frosting, and it was all complicated. Don't get me wrong, I like carrot cake now. I do. Carrot cake is awesome. As a kid, though, I didn't like it. But now I do. So yeah, it was a great evening overall. I was right about the Dolphins winning, so call me crazy, but I'm pretty sure the Jets are out of the playoff picture. If they aren't already. And seriously, Aaron Rodgers, like, I'm making a big comeback on Christmas Eve. I'm gonna, like, dude, no you're not. Even if you came back on Christmas Eve, it's the Jets. I mean, yeah, we can only speculate where the Jets would be if Aaron Rodgers never got hurt, or if Aaron Rodgers was still healthy. Me personally, though, the Jets are an organization that needs serious retooling. And no, I'm not just talking about Zach Wilson. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, do I even need to tell you how much of a diva that he is? I mean, he's only good against, like, a lot of his biggest wins came just out of, like, sheer convenience. Like, they weren't fully earned. I mean, yeah, he got himself a Super Bowl win against Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. So, he got himself a Super Bowl ring, and yeah, he is going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. But I mean, come on, Aaron, quit the facade. Like, I'm sure he's going to come back, and the Jets will be better, but only by comparison. Seriously, all that trouble that the Jets and the Packers went through to make the trade for Aaron Rodgers happen, and he immediately gets injured like 4 plays into the new year. I'm sorry, but that's pathetic. That is. And it's completely conducive to what people think of the Jets. And let's be honest, the Jets suck. If you lose to the Jets, I dare say if you lose to the Jets, you almost don't deserve to go to the playoffs. But right now, the best team in the NFL with the best record is the Eagles. They've only lost 1 game, and that one loss was the Jets. So, yeah. I guess it's, right now this weekend, well, I guess if I were to describe this weekend as a whole, it's going to be parade weekend, because actually the city of Elmira had a holiday parade, which I was in Corning all day, and sadly I couldn't go and see, which is even more of a shame because I had friends, you know who you are, who marched in the parade. Oh, it was so cute too. They actually all like to dress up in Dalmatian costumes. And they walk along the parade. It looks so cute and adorable, whatever. Yeah, just, I hope they had a lot of fun. There's the Parade of Lights tonight in the city of Corning, and I'm actually kind of debating as to whether or not I want to go. Because I'm trying to weigh out the pros and cons, because for those of you guys who don't remember, last year I went to Sparkle. Yes, both Sparkle and the Parade of Lights take place on Market Street in Corning, but that is the only way they're similar to each other. See, Sparkle is more like the Harvest Festival I went to in Corning, where, you know, you can walk up and down the street of Market Street. You know, there's a whole bunch of vendors outside. Check out the stores. They're open later. Some of them are. No, it's a lot of fun. The Parade of Lights, on the other hand, you're confined to pretty much just the sidewalk, meaning it's going to be packed. And if you're trying to look for people, it's hard because, at least with Sparkle, it's more open spaced. So if you're trying to look for someone, they're easy to spot. The Parade of Lights, really not so much. Because, you're compact and confined to essentially the sidewalk. I mean, don't get me wrong, the parade is nice, and, you know, it's, I'm sure a lot of effort's being put into the attractions that are gonna, you know, walk along by Market Street. But then there's the convenience of parking. Like, my grandmother lives right in Corning, and she doesn't live that far from Market Street. When I went to Sparkle last year, I essentially just parked at her house and just walked right over to where Sparkle was. And theoretically, I could do that with the Parade of Lights as well. But again, the convenience of Sparkle was it was more open spaced. You know, Parade of Lights, not so much. And unfortunately, parking is going to deter a lot of people. I mean, I am thinking, seriously, I actually want to know, what do you guys think I should do? Because here's the thing. For me to go to the Parade of Lights tonight, my best bet for any kind of decent parking or to find anywhere to go to, I would have to come back here to, because I'm going to be in Corning all day anyway. I'm going to have to come back here to Elmira, go to church at 4 o'clock, and it'll be 5 by the time I get out. But then I have to drive all the way back to Corning, meaning, best case scenario, I get to Corning at about, and this is best case scenario, 5:15. Just getting to the city of Corning. It'll be another 5 minutes before I find any kind of parking. So basically, worst case scenario, it's 5:30 by the time I actually, you know, get to where I'm supposed to go in Corning if I want to get a good view of the parade. Again, if you're going to go to any holiday celebration in Corning, Sparkle is obviously the better one. Just simply because, again, it's free, it's open, less confined. You know, there's vendors everywhere, support local. It's a lot of fun. And I'm definitely going to Sparkle next week. Parade of Lights? I don't know. Honestly, I think it'd be easy to let you guys decide for me. Because it's an answer I don't know. It's a question I don't know the answer to. That's what I meant to say. But at the moment, that's where I'm at. Gonna spend the day in Corning. How about my dad? I know there's no NFL games today, but I almost decided to wear my jersey today, just simply because if you're a fan of college football, you know it's the big day. Michigan versus the Ohio State University. I mean, I gotta go with Skip Bayless on this. I think right now Michigan is like us against the world because their coach got in trouble for doing something he shouldn't have done. It's Jim Harbaugh. Who's shocked by that? And now they're down. Like, basically Michigan is playing one hand behind their back, but Jim Harbaugh, their coach, became the most sympathetic person in all of sports right now. It's Michigan against the world. And Michigan's at home. But here's the thing. Jim Harbaugh can't coach at the games. He can coach practices. He just can't be at the games. So this will be an interesting game, to say the least. I mean, again, it's college football. I don't necessarily have a dog in this fight. I mean, I have family who lives out in Ohio. And a couple of them actually did go to Ohio State. I mean, personally, I think it'd be funny if Michigan beat Ohio State without Jim Harbaugh. Actually, what would be funnier? Michigan beating Ohio State without Jim Harbaugh, or the Green Bay Packers making it to the playoffs without Aaron Rodgers before Aaron Rodgers does. You decide. I hope you'll like this video. If you like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I enjoy home videos video for all of you guys watching Joe Redeem. It will be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if you want to talk to me, if you're going to back, always have your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.